All right, guys, in this video, I will actually be wrapping up the process. I think I said that it would be 2 more videos, but it's just going to be 1. We're gonna get it all done right now before it gets too much later. And I went ahead and wrote out the rotations off camera because I figured you guys don't need to see me figuring it out. If you like the older versions of this video better where I do it all in one video, please let me know in the comments, because obviously I want these to be helpful and I want you guys to be able to watch and get the most out of them. So if you prefer it all in just one video, let me know, but I tried to do a little bit more off camera this time so you aren't just watching me sit and think and write and erase. But I've got the rotations all set up. Again, if you want a fancier template than I am using, you can get those with the meal planning workbook, but I didn't feel like going back to a printer again, and I already used these ones from last year. So we're just going with the budget version today. And I did my summer rotation on the back of this paper and my winter, fall, spring one here. So I will share with you guys what these rotations are. So this is the regular one, the 9 months of the year calendar. And we were starting with soup on Sunday. Oh, sorry, not soup, lentils. It'll be lentils on Sunday. So the rotation for that will be lentil soup, lentil shepherd's pie, and I won't do all of it in the crock pot. I had crock pot on here, but I don't think I'll do that as a crock pot recipe. I may prep that one ahead of time and then just have it ready to bake when we get home if we're out and about. But I love that recipe. It's so good. If you guys want it, I can put it in the description down below. A lentil curry, I only had 2 on here and I thought I need some other options. So I just Googled a lentil recipe and a lentil curry came up that looks really good. So I'm going to put that in there. And then a Greek lentil power bowls. Pretty excited about that one as well. Haven't tried it. Hopefully it's good. If not, I can sub in something else. But that's all for Sundays. And then Mondays is going to be my crock pot beans meals. And I will rotate between doing beans and cornbread and beans and rice as the side dish with the beans. And I will also rotate through different kinds of beans. So I'm not going to specifically write that down. It'll be what we have and what I pick up at the store and what we're feeling as far as which beans we are going to do. You could be more specific if you want. I've done that in the past, written out black beans, kidney beans, white beans, pinto beans, and I just found that I didn't stick with it. So there's no point in taking the time to write all of that out separately if I'm not going to stick with it anyway, and beans is descriptive enough. Tuesday is going to be crockpot potatoes, so I'm going to do potatoes, like baked potatoes, and then baked sweet potatoes and potato soup. I may add in some other things, but I'm gonna keep that one pretty simple. Wednesday will be crockpot soup, and I don't have a lot in this one because there were several lentil things for soups, like the lentil soup and lentil curry. We're already doing that on Sunday. I don't need to have lentil soup again later in the week. And same with potatoes. That one is going on the potato day this year. So I'm going to rotate between Malaysian laksa, which is such a yummy soup. We absolutely love that. That one I got from my Revive Cafe cookbooks. I absolutely love those cookbooks. In my mind, they are staples for a plant-based kitchen. He has pictures for every recipe and every single thing we've tried. Maybe there's been 1 or 2 things that we haven't loved, and I have 6 or 7 of the cookbooks. I can't even remember. But I love, love, love his Malaysian laksa recipe. I will put links to those in the description if you need a good plant-based cookbook. But that will be one of the soups we rotate between, and then a split pea soup. And I may, again, throw in some other soups if we have things and we want it, but I'm going to keep that rotation pretty simple as well. This last year, whenever I made the Malaysian laksa, my husband said, why do we not make this more? It is so good. So I'm just going to make it more often this year. I said Thursday's theme was haystacks, but I'm actually going to rotate that between haystacks and yumbles, which is basically the same thing. The only difference is you have a rice instead of a chip base for the yumbles over the haystacks. Friday is going to be my build it meals. If you've been around this channel, you know we love the build it meals. It's basically just any meal where each person kind of makes their own plate and makes their own meal. Falafels, gado-gado, patatas bravas, spring rolls, Donburi, and Frankie's is what I have on that list. And then Saturday is going to be popcorn and smoothies for the evening meal, and I may rotate between that and hummus and veggies. And then I also did want to add to the lunches, speaking of Saturday, I just looked up quick after church meals and wraps came up, and I really like that idea. So I'm going to put that down for the lunches for Saturday. And we'll have I really love black bean and sweet potato wraps. So some of the weeks I could probably just make black beans on Monday, sweet potatoes on Tuesday, and then we can do the leftovers from both of those for the wraps on Saturday. So I love being able to prep once and repurpose for multiple meals. There's actually a white bean wrap that we really like also. So again, I could make white beans and then later in the week use those as wraps as well. I'm not going to write out for the Saturday ones which wraps are on which days. I'm just going to put wraps and we'll just kind of do what we have, and then maybe if I'm feeling a certain kind of wrap, prepare it earlier in the week with the certain types of beans. But I'm not going to write out a whole rotation for that right now, just because I know often how Saturdays go for us. It's just kind of quick, let's get this together so we can get the kids down for naps or get out and do something. It's not something where we're spending a lot of time preparing, so I don't want to put more effort into this meal than I know I'm actually going to use. In the past, when I've written out a Saturday lunch rotation, it gets scrapped and we haven't stuck with it. So I'm just gonna put the wraps there to remind me that that will be the plan. And earlier in the week when I'm making the beans and potatoes, I can kind of think through what I want to have for the wraps on the weekend. So that is the regular, this was the regular. Okay, so then this one is the summertime meal plan rotations. So for Sunday, it's still going to stay lentils, but I'm going to do a cold lentil salad. My sister gave me a recipe for this that I think she made up, and it's quite good. You've got your lentils, you've got cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, oregano, lots of fresh oregano. Oh, it's so good. And it's all stuff that I have in my garden except for the lentils. So I love using stuff from the garden in the summer, and that will be a nice easy one to do. And then the Greek lentil power bowls, we will keep that one from the winter, assuming it's good. Monday will still be the beans with cornbread or rice. Tuesday will go from being a potato day to being a grilling day, just in the summer. And the rotation for that will be hot dogs and then skewers and then burgers and then skewers. So it'll be kind of every other week because veggie meat is so expensive. I try not to do it even once a week, but we will do it a little bit more often in the summertime because grilling is fun. Pasta will then replace the crock pot soup on Wednesday, and we will do mac and cheese, pesto. I put quick and easy on here because there's a pasta quick and easy from my cookbook, Vegan Yum Yum. Well, it's not my cookbook, a cookbook that I have. It's very tasty and nice and easy. Again, stuff from the garden, so I really like that. And then a Mexicali pasta, which is like black beans, corn, tomatoes. Again, yummy, quick, and easy. And then the Thursday haystacks rotation will stay the same. Friday's gonna stay the same, and I didn't feel like writing it out again. And Saturday will also stay the same. So it will be Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that will change for the summer. So with that, all that is left to do is fill in the calendar. And I honestly think I'm gonna totally do the calendar differently than I think I've ever done before. If you've watched these videos in the past and have been around the channel for a while, you can tell me if I'm crazy and I've already done this, but I don't think I've done it this way before. I know the very first time, and actually the first years that I did it before I ever filmed it, I did one day at a time all the way through the calendar, and then I started doing a couple days at a time all the way through the calendar, but just, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that. And I think what I'm going to do this time is month by month. So I'm going to just go through, put the rotation in up to the end of January, and then flip the page. If this is your first time doing it, I would recommend doing one day at a time. Just, it makes it a little bit easier when you're sticking with the rotation instead of having to try to remember which one you finished on in the last month. Part of the reason I'm going to do it month by month for me is my rotations are a lot shorter than they have been in the past. Again, just the season that we're in, I don't have a lot of extra time or energy or mental bandwidth to do long and involved rotations the way I have before. So I'm keeping it a little simpler this year, trying also to be budget conscious with the price of everything just going up a lot over the last few years. So we're going a little simple, and I'm going to try writing it in. So I will go ahead and do that now, and I'll meet up with you guys here in a bit. All right, guys, that is it. The whole calendar is filled in for 2025 from, let's see if I can get back to January, from January all the way through to December. And the awesome thing about this is I just don't have to sit and think and figure out my meals for each week. It's already done for me. If for some reason I need to switch things up, I can easily do that. It's no problem. Sometimes I will just move one week to another if we're having company or something like that, and we may be eating something that may be a little bit more different and other people may not like. But I like having all these decisions made ahead of time so I don't have to take the time every single week to figure out my meals. If you would like to completely plan out your meals for 2025 but aren't exactly sure of all the steps, you can check out my bootcamp coming up at the end of January called Set It and Forget It Meal Planning. In the bootcamp, you get video lessons for every single step of the way, and throughout the 5 days of the program, you set up and create your meal plan for the entire year. If you get stuck along the way or you just want to brainstorm through different ideas, there are live coaching calls every day of the bootcamp as well, so be sure to check that out if this is something you're interested in and would like a little guidance along the way. Also, if you join the bootcamp, you will get the Set It and Forget It template, which I have used in the past few videos to create my meal plan this year, and you also get a digital copy of the workbook as well. So check that out in the description, and I will pin a comment with some information about it as well if you want to plan out your meals for the entire year. All right, guys, that's all I had for this video, and I will see you on the next one.